Let's be honest, the economy is not doing well. Authored by Connor O'Keefe via Epoch Times. The American economy is not all right, but to see why, you need to look beyond the dramatic numbers we keep seeing in the headlines and establishment taking points. Take, for instance, the latest jobs report. For the third month in a row, the American economy added significantly more jobs than most economists had been expecting, a total of 303,000 for March. On its face, that's good. It's a good number. But as Ryan McMahon laid out over the weekend, things don't look as strong when you dig into the data. For instance, virtually all the jobs added are part-time jobs. Full-time jobs have actually been disappearing since December of last year. In fact, as McMahon highlighted, the year-over-year measure of full-time jobs has fallen into recession territory. Also, most of these new part-time jobs are going to immigrants, many of whom are in the country illegally. There has been zero job creation for native-born Americans since the mid-2018. While immigrants are not harming the economy by working, the scale of new foreign-born workers has papered over the employment struggles of the native-born population. And further, government jobs accounted for almost a quarter of those added, way above the standard 10 to 12%. Just like with government spending and economic growth, government hiring boosts the official jobs number while draining the actual value-producing economy. Some economists like Daniel Lacalle argue that the U.S. economy is already experiencing a private sector recession, but that government spending and hiring are propping up the official data enough to hide it. A recession is inevitable thanks to the last decade of interest rate manipulation by the Federal Reserve, and especially to its dramatic actions during the pandemic. The recession-like condition in full-time jobs is further evidence that Lacalle is right. But job numbers are only part of the story. The stock market has been fluctuating a lot recently, not because of changing consumer needs or the adoption of some new technology, but based on what Federal Reserve officials are saying about what the central bank will do this year. At the same time, prices are still high. They continue to raise at a rate that frustrates even some of President Joe Biden's biggest economic cheerleaders. Our dollars are worth about 20% less than they were 4 years ago, with no prospect of that trend reversing. That hurts. But instead of addressing this economic pain, much less their role in creating it, members of the political class are still pretending everything is great. They're even gearing up to making things worse by, for example, sending even more of our money to the Ukrainian government, all to prolong the war it's losing, not because of lack of money, but because of the lack of soldiers. And at home, President Biden is scrambling to put the brakes on energy production and to transfer money from the working class to his base of college graduates, all before he's up for re-election in November. Predictably and appropriately, the establishment's head in the sand economic strategy is coinciding with a notable decrease in support for the Democrats, the establishment's preferred party these days, and President Biden is behind in the polls in 6 of the 7 swing states and is losing support from working class and non-white voters. The political establishment and its preferred candidates deserve to lose support not only for failing to acknowledge America's economic problems, but for causing them in the first place. And this is on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden, authored by Connor O'Keefe, Epoch Times. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.